3, 2, 1, fight! There we go. Now it worked. If it doesn't work, just turn it off, turn it back on again. Works for the robots, right? All right, Nuzzle and Tickle trying to get in there. I believe this one, Nuzzle, is the one with the big beak on the front of it. And it's going face first into Scrap. But because it's only half the weight, it's going to be very difficult to push. Tickle, on the other hand, this one was driven by itself in the last round of combat because Nuzzle was not working. And proved to be very difficult to drive, kind of scraping on the ground, frames a little bit bent up. And as I'm understanding it right now, Sarah's trying to drive this thing and has to have her controller upside down in order to get it to work properly. So as if it weren't already hard enough to drive, this is just like a madhouse game. But the two of them together, oh, there, take the tape off. Now we're dropping the gloves. Got that sharp wedge out the front there as the two of them trying to get into a pushing match. Ideally, if they can, what they'd like to do is work together on opposite sides, flanking their opponent. There we go, bumping into the red hazard as first Scrap and then Tickle gets bounced around. Because in a direct pushing match, each one of them probably not going to do so well. But if they can get around opposite sides, they might be able to outmaneuver their opponent and take advantage of their weak side. As you can see, you can make a robot out of almost anything. These may as well have been kids' toy remote control cars with some tape attached to them. In fact, I think one of them might be. There's definitely electrical tape holding one of them together. It makes good enough armor. Trying very hard to push each other around. That low wedge of Tickle, there you go, starting to get underneath of Scrap. But Scrap's got, oh, there we go. There you go. Tickle getting a really good wedge, almost gets it into the red hazard, but Scrap managed to get out of the way at just the last moment. Definitely that low wedge on the front of Tickle is effective, but the drive is not working so well for it. So with a little bit of help from Nuzzle, they might be able to get it pushing across the side as they make their way over towards the red one. Now getting in front of each other. Always the hazard when you've got two brains trying to operate half of a body each, is you have a tendency to run into each other as much as you do into your opponent. Taking opposite angles on it. They're looking like they're trying to make their way over to the blue side as Nuzzle takes a bounce off the red, and then Tickle as well. And now Scrap just to make it even. So now that everybody's had a turn on the red hazard, we're going to try and go over to the red corner as Tickle tries to make their way over. Nuzzle holding Scrap up against that side, trying to prevent him from getting away. Tickle taking another bounce off the red hazard. Holding Scrap up against the side. Just under 30 seconds left in the fight. Hard to get around that red hazard, especially with so much bot over there. Tickle trying to make its way around. I do not envy Sarah as she's trying to drive this poor robot, which barely moves and everything's upside down. But she's doing a great job all the same. Saying, Nuzzle, get the heck out of the way. This is my game. 6 seconds still on the clock as pushing over against Scrap, up against the wall. 3, 2, 1, and time is up. That's the end of that fight. Thank you very much to all three of our drivers here. Sam, Sarah, and Tomawa. Sam over there with Scrap, and Sarah and Tomawa with Nuzzle and Tickle. Once again, this will go to a judge's decision. Damage, aggression, and control. One of the nice things about being a multi-bot is it's a little bit easier to gain control as long as you can drive. Believe me, this is way more difficult than it looks. After this, we're going to do our really tiny robots. We're going to do the 1/3 pound, 150-gram fairy weights. These things, it's amazing you can even make robots this small, but they still hit hard. Comparatively, those hazards are much, much worse for the little ones because these hazards are like 5 times the size of those little robots. They really take a beating. All right, and the win will go to Nuzzle and Tickle. Congratulations, Sarah and Tomawa.